Hi there and welcome to this edition of Lithuanian Brands Best Practice webinar series. My name's Darren Coleman. I'm the founder and managing consultant of branding agency Wavelength Marketing. I'm also the honorary counsel for Lithuania in my hometown of Birmingham in the UK. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Gintarė. Gintarė is the brand manager from Sip Sap. Hi Gintarė.
Hi Darren.
Labas Diana.
Lava Diana.
Lava Diana. So yeah, you've got a really interesting brand and I'm looking forward to talking to you about it. So can we start with some broader context, and can you tell me a bit about your target customers, the markets you're in, and maybe some of the products that sit underneath the Sip Sap brand?
Yes, sure. So we have started our activity in basically beverage producing manufacturing back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, when we purchased a big juice production factory. And we were thinking kind of what could we do with it besides doing usual juice in order to have this, additional added value. And we started thinking about birch water because it's something that is very close to our hearts. It's very known, especially among the older generations. All of our grandparents used to harvest birch water in their gardens, in their villages where they used to live. So this is something very common for all of the Lithuanians. However, it has not been commercialized. You could find some birch water during the season, early spring and summer, early spring in March and April, but after that, that's it. So we started looking into this opportunity and seeing this as an added value for not only our company, but also as a Lithuanian product that could be exported widely. Yes, and then we started doing one brand. We thought it might not be the best option since we were doing Tetra Paks. So then we repositioned ourselves to portion pack, meaning we started doing glass bottles and little carton portions. So it has been great. Birch water has been widely accepted. I think it's kind of also on a growing trend of all of the healthy beverages together with coconut water, which was of course our also inspiration behind birch water, because we were thinking, why would we buy coconut water here when we have all of our birch water around us? So yes, we saw some great opportunities lying there in this growing trend for consuming natural beverages, basically.
So can you talk me through how this works? I'm not very familiar with birch water. So do the trees give off some sort of water and you scrape it and you bottle it? How does it work? Sorry.
So it's basically a very natural process, and it hasn't changed a bit during the centuries. What happens is you need kind of a colder climate during the winter in order for birch water to happen, which is why birch water is only known and harvested in the northern countries like Canada, Sweden, Finland, Russia, Lithuania including. So on the break of winter and spring, when the snow starts to melt, and during the night you still have some minus temperatures like -2, -3 degrees Celsius, and during the day you already have some sunshine. So the snow is melting, it gets to the roots of the trees, and then the trunk of the tree gets all of this water inside of it. So for a very, very short period of time, usually between 2 and 4 weeks, we tap a little hole about 1 meter high from the ground, put a special tap in it, and then the water just drips drop by drop, basically. So there's no faster way, there's no more modern way doing it, it's just the way it is. And the one thing you have to know with birch water, it's once it's out, you only have 24 hours to process it, to manufacture it, because it starts the fermentation very fast. So once we harvest the big 10-liter containers, we bring it to the factory right away. We filter it. We do everything we need in order to have this, finished product for a whole year, basically.
So you're busy at specific times of year. Who buys it? Yeah, who buys birch water? Who's your target customer?
So basically, we were asking this question ourselves in the beginning of this venture, and we established a few different target audiences, which are linked, but basically we have 4. So we have sports guys, right? Active people doing sports, looking after what they consume in order to be more, in order to have better performance, in order to restore the vitamins and minerals that they lose during exercising. So this is the first category. The second category would be young parents, young mothers who are looking for healthier options for their children, right? Because children, of course, they will want to, you know, consume all of these juices and lemonades and etc. So parents nowadays are more aware of what they give to their kids. This third category would be what we call hipsters. You know, then people following trends, but looking back to what was good and trendy in the good old days, how we say it. So a lot of things are coming back, you know, to life, like music or trends or fashion. So beverages and food is also one of the trends that is coming back to being trendy right now. And the fourth audience is trend seekers, right? People who are always on the look for new things, exciting things. So this is what is happening with kombucha right now as well. It's something that a lot of people haven't been using for a long time, and boom, they're suddenly interested in it. So yeah, so these are basically 4 categories.
Sounds like you've got some great insights on your target market there. So you've got Sip Sap as the brand. How do you manage the various products that sit under the Sip Sap brand?
Well, as I mentioned, we started by doing several different brands, and we saw that selling birch water itself is a very kind of difficult task because you have a lot of education to do behind it. Why is it good? How do you harvest it? What is it? And etc. etc. So we thought having a strong brand with strong brand values and visuals and identity is the only way in order to communicate right now, in order to compete with all of these different brands happening around. So we created Sip Sap as kind of an international brand. We didn't focus on Lithuanian market because we were seeing this as an opportunity for expansion. So we created Sip Sap as a brand that could easily speak to different markets, right? Sip Sap is a very easy name to pronounce and remember. At the same time, it has the word sap in it, so it's kind of self-explanatory. And yeah, we only saw it as the only way to go further. Currently, under the Sip Sap brand, we only do birch water. We don't do any other product, but we do a lot of different types of birch water. So we have one packaging which is meant for premium segment. So it's a glass bottle, right? We have one which is more for the on-the-go consumption. We have another one coming hopefully in 2021 for following one of the biggest trends in food right now. So we try to focus all of the products under the name of Sip Sap, which are to focus, keeping in mind our client audiences, target audiences, but still differentiating them for different kind of reasons and segments.
So can you give me an example of maybe the type of product that the hipster would go for and the type of product that the young mum would go for?
So I would say young mom would usually choose a product which is most natural and has less sugar possible. So the lowest amount of sugar possible, right? So I would say for a mom, it would be our paper can, which is made of 70% wood fiber. It kind of looks like a can, but it's made of paper. I don't have it with me right now. Yeah, because first of all, it's easy for a child to carry around. It's not gonna break. It's not gonna fall, you know, and spill everywhere. And second of all, we do have some very mild flavors that are suitable for children. So like mint or rhubarb. For a hipster kind of customer, we would probably suggest sparkling Sip Sap, which is birch water, but made sparkling. So this is a great alternative to all of the lemonades or sugary, you know, drinks.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of the brand, then you mentioned the values earlier. Can you, and then the identity, the visual identity that you've got. Can you maybe talk us through the brand values that you've got and how they are expressed through your identity?
Yes. So when we started Sip Sap, we were thinking strongly about all of the different values that we want to incarnate under this brand. First of all, we are very close to nature and all of it that is natural. So this is the first thing that we communicate. And one of our first slogans when creating Sip Sap was, I cannot explain it to English very, very well, but kind of, we don't produce birch water. We only borrow it from nature. Right? Because we cannot produce it at the factory. We only take it from nature. It lets us borrow it from it. So This is the first value, something very natural, very close to nature, something that comes from very old and deep traditions. Second kind of a identity side is we support the community, which is very active and modern, at the same time respecting the past. This is something that we communicate a lot. We are very trendy. We try different funny slogans, funny communication, but at the same time, we always communicate what has been important in the past, how birch water was discovered and used back in the day. So these are kind of a two sides that we always try to, link the present and the past. And the third, of course, kind of value is this idea, not the idea, this wish to always, look for something interesting, something with a kind of a different side, something out of the box. So we always, if you follow our Sip Sap communication, it's not going to be very, coasters and t-shirts and things like that. It's going to be very out of the box. We support different movements of young people, of artistic guys, of students doing different projects. So it is very important to us that our brand lives in other people's lives as well.
I can't help but think about how other brands are using mixers. So you see Jack Daniels. Have you ever thought about extending? So you've got, I don't know, birch sap and vodka or something like that. Have you ever considered it? The healthy option?
Yeah, of course. It's a different kind of approach. And it, we always thought about it because it sometimes goes hand in hand. When we work with HoReCa, with restaurants and bars, we always suggest Sip Sap, especially sparkling one, to be used in cocktails. And it goes great in cocktails. It makes them even more fresh and healthier. But at the same time, we kind of have this, contradiction between what is natural and pure, and we promote this active and healthy lifestyle. And then we kind of, if we add alcohol, it kind of makes, this, it's different. But why not, for the future, why not? Because we have a lot of demands from bars and restaurants of how to incorporate birch water into recipes, into cocktails and things like that. So we always work with this idea behind.
It could possibly dilute your brand positioning, but no pun intended there. I'd love to keep talking to you about that, but I think we need to draw the conversation to a close. So finally, just to wrap up, could you tell us a bit about your plans for the coming months, years for Sip Sap, your growth hopes and aspirations?
Yes, sure. So we are very happy of how we are right now. I mean, we are already exporting to more than 20 countries. But we are very excited about expanding even further. And by further, I would really like to go into Canada next year. I think this is a market that we haven't targeted yet. And I'm seeing their customers, Canadian consumers, as one of the, trendiest and trend-setting customers in the world. I think they have a great outlook. I think they're active and they're using a lot of natural products right now. So Canada is definitely on our top list. We are also excited about expanding into Asia because we currently have a distribution in Japan, and we would definitely want to see our product in the Asian market. I think it would go great there. The climate is amazing there, so having a fresh drink in your hand, fresh birch water, it would be the dream. So maybe Thailand, Singapore, maybe even Indian market, Vietnam, things like that. These countries would be great. And we are ready to, adapt our packaging and labels and everything to each country. We already do that. So we're excited.
Yeah, so there's some good growth aspirations, but you're mindful of how to deliver the product and the brand into the local market. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gintarė, brand manager from Sip Sap. It's been a pleasure to have you along today on Lithuanian Brands Best Practice webinar series. Thank you. Ačiū.